Hello everyone, welcome to Vocabulary for Conversation. Now we're going to learn about how to use plural nouns. We can begin now with this statement. A count noun is plural when there is more than one person, place, or thing. So if the person, place, or thing is more than one, you have to use plural. Now we're going to learn how to make a singular noun to become a plural noun. The first one is to add s to the noun. For example, one tree becomes three trees. One word, four words. One sister, two sisters. And then we add e and s to a few words that end in o. Okay, when the word is in o, you add es. For example, echo, echoes. Mosquito, mosquitoes. Tomato, tomatoes. And so on. And then we add es, also add es to nouns that end in ch, sh, ss, and x. Okay? For example, beach, beaches, dish, dishes, dress, dresses. And then we also have to add ies to nouns that end in a consonant followed by y. After you drop the y, you change it into ies. Okay? Only the y. For example, city becomes cities, country, countries, family, families. And the next one, add ves to nouns that end in f or fe after dropping the f or fe. For example, calf, calves, half, halves, leaf, leaves. Okay, you have to drop the f or the fe and change it into ves. Also, there are irregular forms in a certain noun. Yeah, the changes is not adding es or s or ies, ves, but you have to change or add something to the noun. For example, child, yeah, becomes children. Man, men. Person, people. Tooth, teeth. Okay, you have to change that into a certain form. Okay, the last one. There are some plurals that have the same plural form with the singular. For example, deer is still deer, sheep is still sheep, fish is still fish. So you don't have to change anything because the singular form is the same as the plural form. Okay, now let's try exercise 2.4. Write the plural form of each of the following nouns. I have already done 3 of them. Number 1, brother. You answer brothers with S, of course. And then number 7 is irregular. Woman become women. And then city becomes cities. Okay? Now I'm going to let you do the rest of the questions and just follow the rules that we have learned previously. After that, you can look for the answer in the link below. And then we move on to exercise 2.5. This is collective noun. Yeah, we have learned that in the previous video about collective noun. You can see the video. Write the plural form. Okay, now band here is you just add s. Yeah, bands. Yeah, how to add, how to change it into plural is the same rule like before, right? So you just have to add by the rules. Okay, now let's study them to use them in conversation. Use are there and a plural noun in a questions to ask if any exists and how many. Remember in the previous video we have already learned about use there is before a singular noun to indicate that something exists. But in the plural noun, we don't use there is, but we use there are. And if it's a questions, you use are there. The same if you want to use question with is there. Let's see the questions. Are there any cars in your driveway? Look at here, car is in plural form, cars. Are there any cars? And then, how many cars are there? Yeah, you ask if there is any car, and then you ask again, how many cars are there? Okay. And then, how many houses are there on this street? How many pages are there in this book? Okay, the question is like that. Now let's learn how to answer. Because the question is are there, you must answer it with there are, followed by any number from 2 on up before a plural noun to tell how many of them exist. Remember, if we use there is, you only have to use 1 as the answer. But there are used by any number from 2 on up. You can use 2, 3, 5, 10, etc. But never use 1 because 1 only used by there is. Let's look at the answer. There are 2 cars in the driveway, right? The car here is in plural form and this using 2 instead of 1, yeah, because this is there are. There are 10 houses on this street. There are 200 pages in this book. Okay? So now let's look at the questions and answer together. How many cars are there in your driveway? The answer is there are 2 cars in the driveway. How many houses are there on this street? There are 10 houses on this street. How many pages are there in this book? There are 200 pages in this book. If you have more than one, yeah, that you have more than one, you must use are there. How many houses are there? How many pages are there? How many tables are there? How many erasers are there? So you have to use that, and then you answer with there are 200 pages, there are 3 tables, there are 5 eraser. Okay, so like that. Now what if the answer is 0? What if the noun is not there? Okay, how to answer? Now there are 2 ways to answer that. Number 1 is with the word no. Yeah, use there are before the word no when it indicates 0. Okay, and then no is followed by a plural noun. For example, there are no cars in the driveway. You see here, after there are, you add the word no and then followed by plural noun, cars. Yeah. And then there are no houses on this street. Look at here. After there are, you use no and then followed by plural noun, houses. And then the second thing that you can do is to answer by using not any, yeah, to indicate 0. For example, there are not any cars in the driveway. Yeah, if you hear it is kind of awkward, yeah, there are not any. So you can make it like this: there aren't any cars in the driveway. It's better, right? There are not any houses on the street, or there aren't any houses on the street. Okay, so if you are asked how many and then there is no noun, you can answer by using no and not any. Okay, so let's recap. If you are asked with how many cars are there in your driveway, you can answer, if there is more than one, there are 2 cars in the driveway. Then there are no cars in the driveway, or there aren't any cars in the driveway. It's the same, yeah, with no. And then, how many houses are there on this street? You can answer, there are 10 houses on this street. There are no houses on this street. There aren't any houses on this street. Remember, if you use no and not any, you have to be careful not to miss the S. Always use the plural form, yeah? Cars, houses, okay? Don't say there are no house, but there are no houses, yeah? Okay, that's all for now. How to use the plural form, yeah, plural nouns. We're going to continue in the next video about plural also. But I hope you begin to understand how to use plural form, plural nouns in conversation. Okay? I'll see you in the next video.